Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. Last time we finished defeating all the Mavericks here in the game and we started our way through the Sigma Palace stages. And today, we're going to be finishing X's hard mode playthrough by starting off with Sigma Palace 2, fighting Rangda. From the beginning here, Fire Wave is going to be pretty helpful, as this will pretty much destroy everything, but not the right armor. That goes to Storm Tornado. I'm just gonna drop out of it for a moment. I don't want to get rid of my right armor just yet. Just want to make this opening, and then use the right armor to go straight through. Because right here, we've got a very interesting situation. Right armor actually helps protect you from it. And then here, I gotta deal with a very, very similar problem. This time, I'm being chased. I don't like being out of weapon energy here, though. I didn't have enough Fire Wave. That's kind of unfortunate, so... Back up Sting Chameleon. Would like a health drop. Like, I literally need 1 pixel of health, and nothing's gonna drop it. Are you kidding me? Thank you. Because preferably, if I can get this shot out, I would prefer to use the Hadoken in this fight. Because it's Armored Armadillo round 2.
Enough talk. Let's fight.
The Armored Armadillo always starts out with the exact same attack, where he runs around on the ceiling like this. Although, my timing for jumping, pretty horrible, as you've seen. I'll just use the little bit of sub-tank energy I have there, and just Hadoken him.
It was a good fight.
And right here, we're gonna swap the Sting Chameleon so we can have a little bit of infinite. Oh no, actually not here. That'd be next. I'm gonna use Rolling Shield instead, because when you charge up Rolling Shield, it gives you a shield. Fancy that. But we have a lot of flying enemies here, so the Rolling Shield's actually a good pick for this room. Now, here's hoping we get a good pattern from Storm Eagle, because if he lands on the ground immediately, I can attack him. But if he stays in the air after this, then I won't be able to. Unfortunate. But then it gave me the good attack for the second one, so we'll take it. I'm not going through this room, this is scary. So I'm gonna charge up Chameleon Sting, and now we don't have to deal with any of the flying enemies here. Because, honestly, we've seen the funny joke once. I think it's just time to get rid of this boss entirely with a good old Hadoken.
Time to get started.
Can you land? Thank you.
This is what it's like.
That's almost on par for how you fight him with the weapon, in terms of time to defeating him. No matter what you use, Spark Mandrill's pretty easy. Well, if you use the Buster, that's a different story. Alright, now we're going to want to fill up our Sting Chameleon ammo here, because this boss at the very end, we might use all of it if we're not careful. I like getting all the ammo drops when I don't need them anymore. It would have been better to have a health drop, I'm just saying. Alright, it's fine. We have full Sting Chameleon, so that's what we need at the most. So now, probably the most awkward fight in the whole game. Rangda here is just kind of annoying to fight, and in hard mode, his eyes are a lot more aggressive, and they also have some different patterns to them. So pay attention to when they're green and red. You'll see some different things. And here, this is why we filled up our sub-tanks. We're gonna use one right here, otherwise we might die instantly. Wait for the nose to move around. Get a good shot out. Gotta get multi-hit if we can, because that does a lot of damage. Don't fall in the spikes immediately. There's a difference with this eye. As you can see in the red eye, there's a lot more of it. 3 eyes now. And the green, well, does still shoot out a lot of projectiles. How did that not hit? That was point blank range. Come on. At least the red eye was way easy to hit. There's Sigma Stage 2 complete.
Mission accomplished.
Alright, now that we're done with Sigma Palace 2, we're ready to jump into our next Sigma Palace stage. And Sigma Palace 3 is our final stage here, where we have to rematch the remaining Mavericks in the game. Plus, we do have the boss at the end, D-Rex, and a special surprise at the end waiting for us. So, let's go ahead and jump into Sigma Palace 3.
Getting mission.
I'm gonna immediately charge up a Chameleon Sting here. And using this, we can just run through the entire room. As fast as we can, mind you. And if we can get through fast enough, we don't have to worry about a single enemy. Now, it's time for Dodging Simulator followed by Hadouken. Because in the beginning, Chill Penguin's gonna fire out 4 ice projectiles here. After the 4th one, Hadouken. And that's Chill Penguin. Another room that I just don't want to be bothered with, they'll charge up Sting Chameleon and let her rip. Speaking of Sting Chameleon, that's who we got to fight next. This fight is going to be a little awkward though to hit him with a Hadouken. It's honestly luck dependent, because it's really going to depend on what attack this Chameleon's going to be doing. We need him on the ground, so I got to wait for him to hit the ground. If he's gonna do stuff like this, yeah, I might just be using the weakness here. Ooh, actually, this could work instead. Oh, okay, maybe not. I don't want to waste another sub-tank just for that, so I'm gonna just fight him with the Boomerang Cutter to finish this. Mind you, Boomerang Cutter makes this guy a joke, because every hit will reset Sting Chameleon's positioning. And most of the time, he'll just jump back and forth between the ceiling on the left and right side. Although he does like changing it up a lot of the times using his tongue attack, so I'm getting a little unlucky with that. Just one more boomerang, and that's it. I took a lot more damage in that fight than I would have preferred, so here's hoping to get some good energy drops in this next room. I'm getting everything but health. It's all weapon. Come on. Well, that's extremely unfortunate. I'll fight this guy with his weakness as well, but we will have to start off, though, getting rid of this trunk. Because now, we don't have to worry about any of the oil being shot out from Flame Mammoth's trunk, which would be really bad for the fire, especially with the blue fire attack. I really don't like jumping off the wall trying to do a dash attack, because that half the time for me results in me not getting the dash jump, and then I just fall right on top of Flame Mammoth's head. So, taking my time here, just to be safe. And that's the boss defeated. And that's all the boss rematches specifically, so from here on out, it's just new fights. I was really hoping for any weapon drop. How am I not getting like any health drops from anything? Just weapon energy and weapon energy only. It's ridiculous. I don't know if it's actually a factor in hard mode, but in my experience, I get less health drops in hard mode as a whole compared to normal. That might be a placebo, or it might actually be something affected. There's no real concrete evidence about what actually has changed in hard mode in this game. So I have to do my own research and just kind of play around with the system to really know the differences.
Hope you're ready, X.
Alright, so the weakness here for Vile is rolling shield. Jump here. Just barely got over the laser. Wait a second. Because you want to jump right before Vile shoots the laser attack. It's kind of dangerous, but you have to cut it close.
Rolling shield. Rolling shield. Rolling shield.
That was a way better fight compared to the intro stage, I will say that much. It makes a big difference when you actually have health and armor compared to having like 3 shots worth of health to work with. Now, if we didn't have the charge shot upgrade, we would have actually gotten it from Zero, which would have been a better version of the charge shot. It would do a lot more damage. But because we got it earlier from Chameleon Sting stage, we just miss out on that upgrade. It's the same upgrade than what we have now, technically. So it's not really that big of a difference. Alright, honestly, I'd rather take the intentional death there than to use up a sub-tank. Because at this point, we have ourselves close to 2 full-on sub-tanks to work with. Probably like 2 1/4. Going from the other hit. Wow, this guy's doing 3 in a row. D-Rex is actually being pretty aggressive this time around, not gonna lie. Nice. Instantly knocked off the wall. Thank you, buddy. What an interesting fight. D-Rex was very aggressive here this time around, but he's at least now defeated.
Mission accomplished.
Alright, so now we have one more stage left, and it's the final boss fight of the game. Here's the thing, though. I don't have full set of sub-tanks. I only have 2 fully built-up tanks. So we're going to go into Sigma Palace 4 and give this a shot with just 2 of them filled. Here's hoping Sigma isn't that bad.
Beginning the mission.
So immediately just charge up your Buster to start, because the first boss we get to fight is his dog, Veilguarder. And Veilguarder is actually just weak only to the Buster. So I'm paying attention to whatever he's doing, because if the dog is growling, then there's a good chance we'll have enough time to shoot him with a Buster shot. And you want to have at least charge level 2, which is the blue version of your charge shot here, before you fire. Because anything else, you won't get the stun from this little dog. You don't need it fully charged, but at least at level 2 is enough. Have an awkward way to end it, but try not to take too much damage, because Sigma himself hurts like a truck. And we're in hard mode, so that truck got upgraded. Stay away from that attack. Even though our upgrades, that can do close to half of your overall health in the game. It's really devastating. You're not giving me that much space to work with here, Sigma. Alright, use up a sub-tank here. Very, very close to actually dying. So if he hit me one more time, that would have been it. Alright, there you go. That's Sigma Phase 1 down. Now, for the scary part, Sigma Phase 2. So remember how I said Sigma himself hits like a truck? Well, Phase 2 might as well hit like an actual tank. Well, how big he is, he might as well be a battle tank. This guy hurts, and he's only weak to 2 weapons. The rolling shield, and a fully powered charge shot from the Buster. They're the only two things that will actually hurt this boss. So we're going to be using the rolling shield specifically, but we got to be very careful because I only have one sub-tank to work with. And this guy could easily kill me in 2 more hits. Not even kidding. Be very careful of the lasers. They are some of the worst attacks from this guy in terms of damage. To get under the hand, I'd rather take this fight slow than the risk at all. Alright, right here, we're going to use our final sub-tank as we will die in 1 more hit. I stand under the hand. This time looks like he's going from the right side. Oh, then he also hit me with another attack at the same time. That's dirty. So I got hit with an electric attack on the floor, which is impossible to dodge in that situation. If I jumped into the hand, that would have also hurt me. So pay attention to what is going on this dude's shoulders, because that will also dictate what other attacks that you may see from this boss. Oh, that is so dumb. He hit me with the same lightning strike on the floor.
Beginning the mission.
I am not doing this with basically no E-tanks, so we're going to take a little bit of a E-tank grinding intermission.
1 E-tank grinding session later.
Alright, round 2 for Sigma.
Beginning the
Let's
mission.
do it. We're not going to use the Hydoken for the rematches, by the way. I only wanted to do that for the Mavericks. So I'm going to be fighting all 3 fights here, essentially, for this final stage, with the weaknesses only. Alright, kind of a bad attack. But at this point, if I'm pinned against the wall, that should make this a little bit safer. I say as I don't get the full charge. Okay, well that was kind of a whiff, but that's fine if the dog wants to do 2 different jumps to the wall. If I'm far enough away from him, that attack doesn't really matter.
I'll take you on. Here I come, Max.
Good lunge to start. I kind of prefer him doing that to start off, because I'm already mentally prepared for it. Okay, wasn't expecting to do the wall dash again. Oh, okay, well that was just hubris. I thought I had a little bit of damage to tank that, because I don't want to use the sub-tank immediately. That would have been bad. Yeah, and this guy hits like a truck, and that's just normal mode. I'm not even considering hard mode doing double damage. Well, thankfully, we do get to skip those cutscenes automatically going into phase 1 and 2 of this final fight. I've never seen him just walk up the X like that before. That's a new one. There you go. Thankfully, the fire doesn't hit you after the boss is defeated. Damage is turned off for the cutscenes. Because if that was on, that would have been a cheap shot. That was very close. It looked like I got hit with the lightsaber for a second there. It was that close to hitting me. There you go. Alright, that was a pretty clean phase 2. We did take a decent amount of damage, but honestly, I can work with what I have for a little bit in phase 2 Sigma here. Right here, I'm just gonna take a safety and actually use a sub-tank. Because if this does more damage than I'm calculating in my head, that will be a bad thing. Just wait this out.
Rolling shield. Rolling shield.
Not too worried about if we run out of rolling shield ammo for this, because I will just finish him off with the buster.
Rolling shield. Rolling shield. Rolling shield. Rolling shield. Rolling shield. Rolling shield.
Alright, final shot, I want to finish him off with the buster, but it's gotta be a fully charged shot. It can't just be a tiny one. And that's it. Only needed one sub-tank for that. Kinda wish that's how it went for the first attempt, but honestly, not a terrible fight for the rematch. And that is it for hard mode of Maverick Hunter X. It's kind of a lot. I will admit, not how I prefer playing this one. The double damage you take makes early game horrible. Like, most of our deaths were from the horror, like the beginning of the game specifically. Intro stage, Flame Mammoth, a little bit of shenanigans and like Chill Penguin and such. Like, all that's just because we take 3 or so hits and we're dead. But once you get sub-tanks, heart tanks, and the armor upgrade specifically, it starts to become more balanced and very similar to normal mode. It's still harder, but it's a lot more manageable. But that is going to conclude X's hard mode playthrough here in Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. So, with X's hard mode campaign complete, we are done playing through Maverick Hunter X as the main character himself. And all that is left is to play through this game one final time with the unlockable character here in Maverick Hunter X, Vile. Vile's hard mode is definitely going to be a big challenge, as Vile was already the harder character of the two, but we'll be getting more into the specifics of what makes Vile's hard mode much more difficult by comparison to X's next time we meet up to play more Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. But with that said, that's going to conclude my X hard mode series of videos. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series, and I'll see you guys next time.